Ben is living with his family in Germany. However, the number of COVID-19 cases in Germany is rising so quickly that his mom decided to bring him to Vietnam to live with his grandparents. Ben was very excited to travel with his mom and visit his grandparents like he had in the past. Right after landing, Ben and his mother had to take the COVID-19 test sample and get their body temperature checked. They were asked to fill out a medical declaration form. Then they were transferred to a quarantine area for 14 days.
You know what, Ben? All the cost for food and accommodations in the quarantine area, as well as the treatment cost if needed, is all paid by the government because we are Vietnamese.
Mom explained. All their luggage was sterilized before being returned to them at the quarantine area. Then, Ben and his mom were instructed to go to their rooms. Those at higher risk of infection or those accompanying their children were assigned to stay in separate areas. Ben curiously looked at the bunk beds, military blankets, and pillows. Wearing a blanket over him, Ben looked like a proud soldier, the same as those in the stories his grandpa used to tell him. The next day, they both had banh mi, a Vietnamese-style sandwich, for breakfast. Wow, it was so delicious and very different from German bread. Ben missed this flavor so much. Their test results were finally here, and they were both negative. Such a relief. The quarantine camp was very quiet. The staff worked all day to disinfect every room, measure everyone's body temperature, and clean up the garbage. Despite the tiring job, they were always friendly and considerate. At first, Ben felt it was like staying in a peaceful resort. But after a few days, Ben found it boring to just stay inside this area.
I want to go to the amusement park, the beach, see my grandparents, and play with my cousin. It's my birthday in 3 days. I want a birthday cake and gifts.
Ben thought.
The bed here is not as soft as the one at home, Mom.
Ben said. Mother smiled and explained.
This is the best they can provide us, honey. The soldiers have to stay in the forest to make room for us. And there are still many people that need isolating.
Mother took out the phone to show Ben the images of soldiers in the woods, resting on canvas.
Oh my! Turns out we have this bed and blanket thanks to them.
Ben immediately regretted what he just complained about. Later that day, Ben read the news about how his idol singer had donated nearly 2 billion Vietnam dongs to install an isolation negative pressure room for the city. He also urged people to strictly abide the self-isolation process to limit the spread of disease.
Yes, I will definitely quarantine,
Ben whispered. Ben was surprised to hear someone say, "Happy birthday, Ben." He looked up and saw a lovely birthday cake with 10 sparkling candles on it. An officer had to travel quite a distance to buy this cake for him. The children in the isolation area gave Ben lots of toys. One of the kids said,
"We can't go out to buy presents, so we gave you the toys we brought along. I hope you like them."
They are the best gifts I've ever had.
Ben smiled. The peaceful days in the quarantine area passed, and soon it was the last day. Ben felt sad to say goodbye to the dedicated staff and his new friends. Ben's mom exchanged their address and phone number with some other moms, so the kids could visit each other after the pandemic. Ben found 14 days in the quarantine area very meaningful. It showed Ben that the country always welcomes and protects its people, even the ones from abroad, like Ben, just like the mother opening up her arms to welcome her children.